you'd let me interview you as Superman.
Sure.
Superman.
Miss Lane.
We're talking about the Superman trailer a little bit.
Okay. Okay.
And what a crazy week it's been for like trailers and stuff like that. Did you see the Superman trailer?
A lot. Yes, I did see it. I loved it. I really did. I think part of the reason why I was a little bit late is I was yapping to my dad about it when I got home from work. I loved it. I think really the standout point for me was when, right at the beginning when Clark and Lois were sitting down to do the interview, and just that switch up where it's like, all right, game time, and then he was like, hello, Miss Lane. Like, he just like changed into his Superman voice, and like that was perfect. And, again, and it just kind of like slowly fading from Superman to more Clark as he was getting a little bit more emotional, a little bit more heated throughout the interview. I think it definitely gave us quite a bit story-wise. Like, I know early on I said I wanted to avoid trailers and everything else after that initial teaser, but I think it gave just enough without giving away too much. And now, really, cut it off. No more trailers, no more teasers. I don't want to know anything else about this movie until July.
I was like, and like my big thing out of the trailer was like they showed a lot here. Also,
they did
aspects of this movie I don't know yet. Like there's huge plot points I feel like are still very hidden. But you're right. It does seem like that opening is probably the catalyst of the movie a little bit. Like we've been wondering like what like why is Superman arrested? Why is everyone so anti-Superman? It's like, oh, he got in the middle of a war. Okay, that's going to be interesting.
And I would assume that's honestly going to probably be how the movie starts. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if in James Gunn fashion that they throw us right into the action with a nice pop culture-y song, which I'm sure people will definitely be like, all right, Guardians of the Galaxy style Superman, which I do still hope that it has its own tone and its own feel, and it doesn't just feel like Guardians or Peacemaker even. And I think, or Suicide Squad, I think those all very much so sit within the same tonal space. But from these trailers, it does seem like they're doing something different with Superman, and I think it's more so a return to form, I feel like. I really very much so see aspects of all versions of Superman almost combined into one, and taking the best parts of all the stories that we've come to know and love throughout the last, however long. Like, there's aspects of Christopher Reeve's Superman in there. Yes, there's aspects of the Zack Snyder Superman in there. Yes, there are aspects of even like Smallville and Superman and Lois, I feel like, in there as well. And I think it really does a great job with blending all of those different facets into a brand new take on the Superman character. With even, again, too, is thinking about the larger scale of the movie, a lot of Justice League animated, tone or undertones and vibes and everything with, Maxwell Lord's version of the Justice League and everything like that.
Yeah, I've been thinking a lot about that, like that season 2 Superman and Lois scene that I love a lot.
Yeah.
With those themes of like, I'm just not like the American Superman. I'm Superman for everybody.
Right.
Like, there's that fantastic scene in season 2 where the like general of that season, Anderson, right? He's like, I'm trying to get you on like my team. I'm trying to get you over here, blah blah blah. He's like,
I don't work for anybody.
Join my allegiance. It's like, I can't give you my allegiance because I gave that to the world a long time ago, and I got those vibes in this trailer. It's like, okay, this is really good. I like that we haven't just changed his motto for the America stuff to like, no, I'm the Superman of the entire world. I'm not an allegiance to anybody. Yeah.
I mean, as classic as the, truth, justice, in the American way saying is, Superman has certainly evolved past just being an American superhero. He is literally a superhero for the world. He's a galactic hero at times as well. So confining him just to the place he was, just so happened to crash land on. And I think that's why also I do really like a lot of those other, Elseworld Superman stories like, Red Sun and everything like that, because how different could things have been if he wound up somewhere else other than Smallville?
A lot of people talk about Lois Lane, Rachel.
Yeah, she's great.
Our first actual dialogue for Rachel, because I don't think in any of the trailers she didn't speak at all.
Yeah.
So it was cool to see not only Rachel here, but also her dynamic with Clark instantly. And to me, that is all my favorite Superman adaptations have a good dynamic between Clark Kent and Lois Lane. Every single one of them.
You have to have that for it to work. And I think in a lot of ways, I feel like that was one of the lacking parts of the most recent Superman incarnation. I never really felt that connection between the two of them like you do here, even in just the trailers, or Superman and Lois, or from what I've seen of Smallville, very much so as well. I think, again, that is just as important as the other dynamic too, which is the Superman versus Lex Luthor dynamic too, which I think Nicholas Hoult has very much so surprised me as far as how great of a Lex he is. And I really think too, that was one of those castings where I was oh, I'm not really sure about that, right? When he was first cast as Lex, I was okay, I kind of see him as Beast. Dude's got a British accent. I'm okay, is this guy really Lex? But just seeing him march into the fortress, seeing again how he interacts and talks about Superman, how he, props Superman up as this massive threat to the world, threat to public safety. And again, I think that is it kind of was exemplified there in that trailer. This is going to be a large part of the film, is kind of Superman trying to win back the trust of the world, win back the trust of the people, where it definitely does seem certain people or certain groups will see what he stands for, see what he's about, but Lex is definitely going to play a large role in influencing that public opinion and being hey, he's interfering in these, foreign conflicts. Should he really be doing this? Is he causing more harm than good? And, the traditional kind of, Superman, pros and cons kind of thing is do we really need this, alien creature protecting us when I, Lex Luthor, have all the technology in the world to protect everybody?
No, it's fun. I love that shot of Nicholas Holt's Lex when he's seeing what's happening to him out on the street and he's grinning. He's oh yes, all part of my plan. This is awesome. Yes. And
everything is proceeding as I have foreseen.
No, it's going to be incredible. I'm very excited. This trailer did it for me.
Me too.
I mean, there's been a lot of conversation this week. Is are they going too far with Krypto? Are they marketing him too much? And is it a gimmick? Sure. Are they doing it a lot? Sure. But I've enjoyed all of it. I'm kind of there for my boy Krypto. There's that shot where he hits the government. He flies, hits government agent back. I was let's go. He's fighting. He's in the fight. So cool. It's cool. It's so cool to see.
Yeah, Krypto is going to be awesome. I think too is they're using him very, very intelligently in the marketing. I think showing a lot of Krypto helps hide a lot of the plot of the movie. I feel like people haven't really, brought up that aspect of it. It's oh, why is Krypto in all this marketing? That, and the other. I feel like that Krypto story, while yes, it's going to be kind of the emotional heartbeat of the movie, it's not the big plot. It's not the, Superman versus Lex plot. It's not the Daily Planet plot. It's not, Clark's, inner struggle of, should I be this hero for the world? This is just kind of the, fun aspect of the movie that they're marketing that, again, is not going to be too serious, I feel like. And it's going to draw a lot of people in that wouldn't have otherwise seen the movie. It's you're going to get the crowd that likes to go see a movie just because there's a cute dog in it, right? But without spoiling a ton. So in my mind, I'm happy with that marketing. I'm only slightly worried that maybe we've seen all the best of Krypto in the trailers, because I don't know how much more he's going to be in the movie or how much more he can really, assist in the big fight. I feel small little fights, that sort of thing, he's kind of in the background. But again, not necessarily a massive part of the, main A plots.
So people were talking about Lex Luthor maybe becoming president in the DCU. I don't think he's currently president.
No,
I would love that to
right.
be a story we're building towards. I think that would be fantastic.
Did you see/hear when they mentioned something about the president and then showed Lex on screen? Yeah. If that's not foreshadowing, I don't know what is.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool. Like building
I would love
up
to see that.
I would
love
Lex
to
as,
see that.
Our almost our big bad of this chapter, like the huge
chapter. And imagine we get a Legion of Doom. Imagine we get President Lex, who is assembling a Legion of Doom, and they actually fully do it. I know that's what they were setting up in the original DCU. So definitely you'll get some of that pushback there, but I would love to see it. We've never actually seen that on screen. Like, imagine we see, as we're seeing the formation of the Justice League throughout a lot of these early films, that we're also seeing the formation of a Injustice League or a Legion of Doom, something like that. And they can just use the same line again. Wouldn't it be fun if we had a league of our own?
Yeah, I mean, speaking of the DCU, just to kind of keep this ball rolling, Peacemaker also had a trailer this week.
Yes.
And I'll probably talk about all this stuff again on Pipeline tomorrow, but you're really excited
some conflicting
for this
opinions, yeah.
Yeah, you really enjoyed the trailer, right?
I did. I really enjoyed the first season too. Like, I have some fond memories of watching that first season. I do see where people dislike it, and you'll dislike it if you don't necessarily like that kind of James Gunn humor, like that kind of edgy, raunchy kind of borderline, I don't even know, childish humor, but with an adult, childish humor with an adult spin, if that makes sense, right? Is that is the kind of comedy in that show. And if you don't enjoy that, if you don't enjoy John Cena just playing John Cena, you're not going to like Peacemaker. But I think underneath all of that, there is still a really good story. I think some aspects of that first season didn't necessarily work a ton. I know there's a lot of question around how will they do that carryover into this new universe. I think the trailer maybe told us a little bit about that. I know the theory right now is that we have the DCEU Peacemaker versus the DCU Peacemaker, and that either our DCEU Peacemaker that we followed is going to take his place or vice versa. And I'm not necessarily sure what I think about that. But it'll be interesting to see. What is the time frame release date for this? This comes out at the end of the summer, right?
August. Yeah.
Okay, so this is coming out post
Superman,
but in that trailer we do still have the Maxwell Lord League interviewing Peacemaker. So it seems like Peacemaker is set before Superman, even though it comes out afterwards. If that is correct, or a correct assumption there, which I find very interesting. And I wonder how Peacemaker is going to shift the view of Superman, or if they're going to feel very disconnected. But I wouldn't think so, just because, again, it's James Gunn doing both of them. If it was somebody completely different doing both projects, then we might have an issue there continuity-wise. But I think these are going to both be very complementary pieces of media for each other. And I think to get the full grasp of the story for either one, you're going to need both, which in some ways can be an issue. We might run into that same issue that we did with the, Disney Plus MCU required reading sort of thing as well.
Agreed. Yeah, I really liked season 1. I thought season 1 was a blast. Maybe I am getting a little tired of that humor, though, just a little bit, at least at the start of everything. Maybe I'm craving something a little bit different from James Gunn, and I'm loving the vibe of Superman. I'm loving all that. So something about this trailer, and maybe the jokes are good in here, but because of it's because it's in a trailer, they have to condense it down, and you can't have those jokes flow as well. To me, a lot of that is just I don't know. Some of it didn't work for me, and some of it's okay, more James Gunn.
Yeah, it's more the same. It's
Yeah,
more
I
the
was
same.
like,
If you didn't like the first season, it doesn't seem like the second season is going to be revolutionary and bring you into it. Very similar to, again, I have to throw strays at Andor, obviously. If you didn't like the first season of Andor, you're not going to like the second season. Very much so in that
Yeah.
same vein. But I'm excited to see more of these characters. I think more Vigilante is going to be great as well. I do really like that other Peacemaker suit too that we got to look at.
that's fun.
I think that's going to be great. And I'm very intrigued by all the Rick Flag Sr. stuff. He is going to be the one. He's the constant. Like, he was in Creature Commandos. He's in Peacemaker. He's in Superman. And I feel like he's going to have a very big role, at least in this first chapter.
Yeah.
And did I hear that correctly in the Superman trailer? Is he like the director of the Department of Defense or something like that?
Yeah.
So is he DoD director, or is this still Argus related, or completely separate? Yeah.
Well, that's
After Creature
interesting
Commandos? Yeah.
Well, that's interesting because, like, I don't know, because like that Waller show was supposed to be about like her trial.
Right, and it was supposed to be in between Peacemaker season 1 and season 2, but now it's going to be post season, or at least it's going to come out post season 2,
if at all.
if
right?
at all.
Like,
Right.
Yeah, if it ever comes out, because like my theory was like, oh, maybe she gets fired after the events of Waller, maybe even after events of Peacemaker. We don't know.
Mhm.
And then he gets upgraded. Like maybe he gets her spot in
Yeah.
the governmental era of everything.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting to explore. I'm excited about that. I'm excited. I'm very curious about like the Peacemaker v Peacemaker, because that's something we've talked about that in great detail. I've talked about it on here many times, and how I've said like as like a wild theory, as something I didn't think that they would address the like DCEU. Like I joked, it's like,
yeah.
oh, maybe,
It'll be like a jokey kind of.
but no, it seems like it's legit.
It's like a legit plot point, and to have Peacemaker tackle the multiverse.
Multiverse
like,
Project number 3. It's crazy.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it has the potential to be really, really good, or it could be absolutely ridiculous as far as like it's just gonna make your brain hurt.
I kind of do like it though, because like we've talked about my issues with Peacemaker should even be a thing. It's gonna be very confusing on rewatch, but I do like for the audience that is watching that for the first time to get caught up, who thinks this is all canon to this universe, they can be like, oh, it is canon technically, and you're literally holding their hand as they are switching
right.
Or, like we are following his POV. I don't know. It seems like maybe our Peacemaker is going to kill their Peacemaker and take that Peacemaker spot in this.
Yeah,
perhaps.
But then
is that the season plotline? Is him trying to fit in with this new team?
I don't necessarily know why though he would need to swap universes, right? So it's not necessarily. I don't think it's because Rick Flag Sr. is after him, because if Creature Commandos is set in the new DCU, and we've still got that plot point of, Rick Flag is dead, and then that's carrying over into Peacemaker. Rick Flag still seemingly got that motivation in Superman. I don't necessarily know why we have to do the multiversal swap or multiversal merge. Right, exactly. Like, why? Like, again, they could just so very easily explain it away too. I think the best way to put it is like just do an offhand aside, like, oh yeah, the Flash messed up the timeline again, or something like that. Right. So that's why certain things are different. And then you can again still poke fun at it, like, Peacemaker can be like, yeah, well, I'll go talk to Henry Cavill or something like that, and it's like, he's not Superman anymore, dude. Or just like something dumb like that, right? Like just some little thing to just say, okay, we're in a new universe. Certain things are canon, certain things are not. But it just, I feel like they're going to be playing fast and loose with this too. Is like, it's only whatever is convenient to carry over is going to carry over, and what is tough for them to write around, they're not going to carry it over. And that is going to be, it's going to be very telling as far as how well we can kickstart this universe. From these first few projects, which is why I think in a lot of ways, again, I keep mentioning this, but I think Supergirl is going to be a very good tell, because it doesn't have to be related to any of this. That would be the first real project that's unrelated to anything past, unless for some reason Rick Flag shows up again.
First project not directed by James Gunn as well.
Yes, as well.
Going to be very telling. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think
And,
also
like,
too that the Lantern show
Lantern
is going to
show
be
as well.
is going to be very interesting to see how that plays out as well. You know, tonally and how it fits into the universe, that sort of thing.